Hi, my name's Mike Gill and this is my book, Human Resource Management Made Easy. Now this is a book that is directed towards a smaller organisation or company that doesn't have direct access to a HR department or a HR professional on a daily basis, someone to be able to advise them on the issues around human resource management, around people management. And it's a book that's practical in the way that it's written and is usable by managers in all sorts of organisations. So you don't have to be a small to medium-sized organisation. It's a handy guide for the majority of managers in any organisation, in any industry, in any business, anywhere where people are employed or where you intend to employ people. This is a book that has a practical use. Now, just to explain some of the background to the book before I describe what's in the book. The background to the book is that I'd worked for many large organisations, local authorities, a FTSE 100 company, all sorts of organisations where there was a human resource department that handled lots and lots of issues and advised managers in organisations and companies that were several thousand strong. And every day they got this advice. They were able to handle employee relations problems, look at remodelling, restructuring, all sorts of things that smaller organisations don't have access to. And sometimes I would advise people, individuals, free of charge when they'd been dealing with something of bossy organisations, tended to be from smaller companies and such like, where people had been dismissed or made redundant or discriminated against. And in some ways, when I'd won cases for them, sometimes in the employment tribunals, I would feel a certain sadness for the employer, because the employers had often got into a situation where they'd made a serious mistake that impacted on someone's employment rights, and they'd not understood what they'd done. They had no idea that they were doing anything wrong. And if they'd have been able to employ someone or access someone of professional standing, someone qualified and experienced such as me, then they could have not just avoided those situations and the costs that went with it, they could have actually had a much more effective business. The employees could have been developed better. And I noticed sometimes when I've advised smaller companies, when they don't actually know in the beginning the kind of questions to ask. They've started a business, people have started a business, or they've become employed within a smaller business, and they've effectively managed in the same way as all the predecessors had managed. They'd not learned anything new. They'd only learned what was taught by the people whose boots they stepped into in terms of management, or they've learned from other people how to manage in a dynamic and aggressive business-like way. But it don't really fit the modern world, and quite often, and I've known this as well, serious costs. I once knew a manager, an owner of a demolition business, and there was issues around health and safety that actually resulted in someone tragically dying whilst being at work. And in that circumstance, the employer had no idea that they were doing anything wrong. And this resulted in that particular person being banned from holding a directorship of a limited company again. And so the consequences in terms of the lives, the health and safety, the well-being of employees, as well as the business that we're talking about, is not served well by people not following the rules and learning what is, in effect, good practice in employment. And this includes things like motivation and leadership, employee development, workforce planning. We can plan everything. We can plan our businesses. We indeed put our business plans together. And sometimes we fail to put together a people plan that goes with that. What skills are needed in the future? Well, I decided that coming across all these small to medium-sized organisations and sometimes advising them as well as the people that were sometimes taking them to an employment tribunal, as well as advising them, I also advise smaller charities free of charge in most cases, and found that quite often it's good intentions that are paving their way to hell. And they're not really paying attention to all the stuff that is people and all the legislation that goes with it. And more than that, all the things that are available to them if only they knew the questions to ask. And so when I wrote this book, it was directed at those people. I looked at how many hundreds of thousands of new businesses, small businesses in the UK, and the performance rates paled in comparison to the larger organisations. Now that wasn't just about the investments that the larger organisations could put into productivity. It's also to do with the way that people are managed so that they can realise their full potential. So I decided that I would write this book and make it directed primarily at small to medium-sized companies and charities where they didn't have that kind of access. Now the book is built by taking the employee from pre-employment, so that we're looking at what makes your company attractive to a new person. What's going to attract someone into that company? And if your only attraction is that you pay a wage, then you're only going to keep those people as long as they need the wage from you. As soon as they can get it from someone else, they'll be jumping your ship. There's no doubt about that. If you make it so that your company is a go-to company, and you start thinking about things like, why do my customers come to me? And then transferring that line of thought to why do people want to work for me? Then you'll start on the journey of becoming the go-to company. So this book takes you through that, thinking about what you need to look like. Then it takes you through how to look at the job that you want to employ to, how to construct it, how to build it, how to identify the skills and knowledge that is needed. What needs to be there now in a candidate, and what can you develop, what can you grow, what skills can you grow? And it helps you think future about employment. Not what do I need now, but what do I need next year? What do I need the year after? And so you start building in things like workforce planning. And this book covers all those kinds of things, and it covers how to organise your learning, basically to create your own learning culture, quite often without any additional cost to yourself. It takes you through all the theories of motivation and how to apply them to your business. So it covers all sorts of things, and it also covers the dreaded discomfort zone, disciplines and grievance, and all the things nasty that managers have to deal with these days. But it helps you do it in an ethical way. And ethics and values are key themes that run through this book. If you want to be a brutal employer, then this book is clearly not for you. If you want to be an ethical, values-driven employer, then this book will help you be that. Now, just another couple of things, a little note about me. My background began on the trade union side of the table way back in the 1970s. And I went to college, studied trade unions for a full 2 years, came out, went to university, then went into management. Did my postgrads in human resource management and in training and teaching. So I have a background that is both practical, hands-on, and with an education to support that. Worked in many large organisations, produced workforce development plans for workforces of up to 2,000 strong, worked with people to build their businesses, all sorts of things where the people are integral to the prosperity of a business. So I have that kind of background, and I will also, as well as this book, I'm also available for advisory services, consultancy services and training services for people that want to pursue ethical, values-driven human resource management processes and policies within their organisation. So if you want to get in touch, the address is on the website. Please do. I produce a number of videos that you can access on YouTube or on my Facebook page. They're all free. There's no charge for those, of course, but they give you snippets on various aspects of employment law, employment issues, what's going on in the world of work today. These are produced every week, at least 2 a week at the moment because of the coronavirus. And so I would really look forward to you coming along, being involved, getting in touch and seeing if we can work together. Goodbye.